but so easy for my students for the inflation. What is the true north concept? The true north concept. You see the green part? My students, they go right to the get laid Daygame inflation island with social skills, social calibrations, emotional control. With game, they have to go all around the world. It's simply ineffective. They have very few late testimonials, and it's always a tall white guy that looks like a male model these days. It debunks so many different styles using strategy in game. Mystery method type of styles and RSD type of styles are debunked. That is the long cut. So why does my students keep getting laid for Daygame during inflation? Hi, my name is John Elite, and do you know that game is going south all the way around the world, then back to the top to get to the island called the Get Laid During the Pandemic and Inflation Island with your low SMV boat. Most of your boat already broke apart when you got there, crashing and burning with game. When you see a laid testimonials from other dating coaches, it's always some high SMV model looking tall white guy who's also a dating coach, which doesn't count. Was this like a joint venture? Or they say, oh, I got some attracting testimonials, attracting women, attracting. For any students who even gets a phone number close, Insta date, or a poll without a lay, they're attracting as they post the same laid testimonials again a second time, one in the summer, then one in the fall, since their students' results dried up during the inflation for their frauds. I'm talking about little Jew Parker. He only got 14 laid testimonials. I counted it all. He says he has hundreds. Yeah, right. Or you have these stupid Daygame mentally challenged things that people go through. 700 people and only 2 got laid. One of them was a DJ who's a white guy. That's great. Status maxing, super low odds of success because they are going south. I mean, that's like 0.2 something % odds of success. I know it sounds crazy because we're so used to hearing about game. And while that's important, I'm going to share with you 3 realizations with you today that's going to revolutionize the way you're getting laid as fast as my students can during the inflation for Daygame on top of the pandemic. So what is the true north concept? It's the shortcut, not the long cut. My Chinese millionaire student, 2 times his friends show up on this Asian island. This is the place he got laid in for all those testimonials, or most of them anyways. Not all of them, but most of them. They had the same results for these guys that showed up, his crew. The first time was during the summer. The second time was during the fall. But it was during the inflation, the second one, that you're going to learn is the social skills and social calibrations is the true north. The true north means means getting laid during the pandemic island faster than game. I think what I was trying to say is you're going to get laid faster by going true north, not going south around the world. The third one is the pandemic and inflation is a double whammy. 2 perfect storms that took place, making it a harder time than any other time in history. Yet my students keep getting laid. Why? The first realization is my 5'7" millionaire student, let's say he has 3 friends. Friend A was a half Indian guy. I thought he was Chinese because he was narcissistic, but he was half Indian. He told my student to go to UMP instead of me, John Elite. But when he arrived at this Asian island in the summer, he didn't get laid the first time. Even the second time. Friend B, which is a Asian guy, he didn't get laid either. In fact, afterwards, he got so jealous because the German women my student pulled over there at the island came and visited him in his home country. He lives in many places in Asia because he can afford to travel. And this guy was supposed to win him for the second person or person B. But he left out of pure jealousy, like most PUAs, because the women were not into him. My student was escalating like crazy. I mean, he was Asian, and this happened at a different Asian country my student was born from, since he travels a lot. But he went back to the island, not my student, but this guy. And he didn't get laid. But my student got 6 lays, unofficially 7 for pickup. Lastly, the guy who is the third person, which is called C, Mr. C, we'll just call him that, was a tall Asian with tattoos, and he had good social skills. The first time he went to this island, he got laid once during the summertime. That was before the other person A was mouthing off my millionaire student who's 5'7" at this Asian island. The second time, this tall guy, Mr. C, he got laid again. So the big idea here is both times it was during the inflation, not just the pandemic. Things were a lot harder. The problem was that people were going south, which might have worked before or during the pandemic or before it. But it didn't work with the pandemic and inflation. When the 5'3" Indian, the Mr. A, used verbal violence or what they call word salads, a lot of Indian guys use that. Benchodes. Mind you, most Indians are nice people. 80% of them are upstanding citizens. I have a lot of Indians in the inner circle. However, 20%, well, let's just say a little bit narcissistic, autistic, and completely evil. They're attacking you with quarter truths. They use pain points, guilt trips, and they're forcing you to defend yourself so it becomes a circular reasoning, arguing in a circle. That's what they want because they're narcissistic. Narcissistic people does that. My student wanted him to train with me, but he started to swing at me with verbal violence like most benchode Indians. Not all of them are like that, but the benchode types. Benchode means sister fucker in Hindi, even if he was half. So I call him a sociopath narcissist. I thought he was Chinese due to the narcissism, but he wasn't. Then I blocked him. But it's okay. I didn't post his face here, and he still has his privacy. But it's a great story because you learn a lot from it. He said that my student should go to UMP instead. And he mouthed off my student saying he was mostly banging Asians on Tinder. He was laughing and laughing. So I decided to mentor my student to wipe that two-faced bench-holding smile off his Indian face. Half Indian. I did, as my student got 6 lays, 7 unofficially. And one of them was asking my student to buy dinner for her after sex. Well, I thought she was a bit of a gold digger, so I didn't certify that lay. It doesn't count towards his number. She was a model. Well, he banged 3 models, 2 under my training. And this is important because they came back a second time to that Asian island. The half Indian didn't get laid the second time with his true south game tactics that he claimed that he was in game for 10 years. Well, I'm in Daygame for 22 years now, but his stuff doesn't work anymore. The other Asian guy, Mr. B, got jealous. Mr. C, the tattoo guy, got laid once again, like last time. Only 1 lay versus my student with 6 lays. 7 unofficially. I was going to post more pictures here, but since I'm doing everything in one take and uploading to YouTube right away, the second realization is social skills, social calibrations, emotional control was the true north. The main thing to understand here is that you don't have to travel as far when you're going true north around the world. Imagine you were on a boat. Your boat is your SMV, your sexual market value. If you go north and you land on the get laid during the pandemic inflation island faster, But if you try to go south using game tactics and strategy without social skills, but socio skills, pretend to be confident, even if your social calibrations is shit hunching, like Todd V or something. Then you try to emote with zombie emotions to raise a few points, like vibing with her, using game, vibing your SMV basically. It is not going to get there since you are going around the world, going south. Now the world has an inflation hurricane, making it harder when you're going south. More people are crashing. That means some people go south on their boat, halfway using romance too. Then pulls her home, then brings out the alcohol and gets her drunk, then wrestles with her, trying to submit her. That is borderline grape. New Delhi grape game. If she doesn't run away, she'll submit. It's called Stockholm syndrome. That's like when you hold somebody hostage and they side with the captors to survive. Or she's seeing a future relationship with you, even though it's borderline grape, then she forgives you. But that is not what I teach. That's domination. That's not seduction. It's not conversion. It's brute forcing it, and it's illegal. Anyone caught doing this will be kicked out of my program for good, using alcohol in the bedroom and wrestling with her. If I catch you, don't ever do it. And other coaches tell you to do that, say no. So when you look at everything for the value, you look at the social skills, social calibrations, emotional intelligence, or emotional control. That's 7.5 points on top of everything. That's going north, the true north, to the destination faster. Game and persuasion is only 2.5 points. So everyone's trading the same fucking tactics with a different style. It's all the same shit. It's all zombie shit. Stupid fucking zombie shit. That's why you're all crashing and burning. And the third realization is that inflation and pandemic is a double whammy. It's two things that makes things harder or twice as hard. But somehow my students are getting laid nonstop despite the pandemic, which others did okay with. But not during the inflation. Somehow my Daygame system is able to withstand it going north when people are leveling up their social skills and social calibrations, emotional control, or whitewash tonality to fit in with the white women's tribe, even using the ninja fashion and whitewash. That's what my students are doing. Since things are more tribal than before, you need to be part of the in-tribe. That's where ninja game comes in. Acting like an ass clown, using the 3-second rule, DV stories, and sexualizing it. Samurai is part of the out tribe. Mystery method style derivatives failed during the pandemic for Daygame. 700 people, only 2 got laid for their stupid Daygame mentally challenged. Even my black student got more lays than their students in the last few days. I mean, RSD victims have no chance. Spam approaching. Volume no longer works. As you're going south around the world, all your boats are crashing early on. Anything gamey or even these white fake naturals won't work. What's a white fake natural? It's very simple. They're just using less game tactics. They're still emoting. They're trying to have a confident body language, trying to be chilled, even though they're squaring off and looking like a low beta cuck. My students stand 45. They have no social skills. They have socio skills. They have this zombie flow drill where they make a statement. She gives a short answer. They ask a question. She gives a short answer. He makes a statement. She gives a short answer. Because their corpus callosum, the middle part of their brain that connects the left and right brain, is fucking damaged. So they can't do 3 steps. They keep using the zombie flow drill. This is key because it's not working for the mystery method style. ABCs of low self-esteem got 0 Daygame late testimonials this year, disappointing Asians everywhere. They did not survive this pandemic or this inflation. RSD style failed. even white naturals, as I said. And they only have testimonials of guys that look like male models, or they're fucking dating coaches on the side. Why is a dating coach on the side a testimonial? Are they frauding people? Are they just, is this a joint venture? Something fishy is going on here. Only one system works nonstop, the John Elite Ninja system. Now I know what you're thinking, that it is still volume or a numbers game or game tactics, right? Like a samurai. Well, the tricky thing is that I got more lay testimonials than every single day game coach in the world combined. They're autistic Asperger's teaching zombie gamey game stuff. Even white fake naturals using the zombie flow drill, not the same as the real naturals for the inner circle. I was going to post like a lot more testimonials. You can see on my website. There's a lot coming. The next video, I want to post a 48-year-old student next. I'm going to post one lay testimonial after another. And lastly, you should check out my webinar. All you have to do is fill out the form, because you can see how you can same day lay with high quality women, white women. Every time you go out in 1 to 6 approaches, within 10 to 30 minutes of meeting her in Daygame. Actually, some of my students got laid in like 1 minute, like the millionaire student. Black student, 5 or 10 minutes, 1 and 2 approaches. 52-year-old student, 3 lays first approach. 21-year-old, 25, 21. The list goes on. Even the recent 3MP student, 7 approach. 6 approach. Yeah, 7. He's 7. Other people are like less. It's always 1 to 6, this kind of area. So go check out this page. And all you have to do is to fill out the form. And the reason why I want your phone number is I can text you and ask you if you finished the webinar. And if you finish it, I'm going to give you 2 bonuses. That's all. I just want to check. Is that fair? If you do it, you get the bonuses. You get the secret mindset playlist all my students get when they buy my products in bundles. You watch this 1.5 hour video training. So let's look at some of the examples. Just quickly. An Asian student has sex in 1 approach in same day lays, a hot white girl. Former ABCs of attraction student and former RSD student. What a big difference. Next student. He got laid in 1 to 2 approaches. He fucked a Russian and he fucked a Ukrainian in about 10 minutes. He pulled around that time, 5 to 10 minutes, and one of them was fucked in 30 minutes. The other one was fucked earlier. So the blonde one was done in 2 approaches. In the brunette over there, he fucked her in 1. Here's a guy who's 52 years old. He had sex with a 21-year-old, 25 and 21. 3 in a row on the first approach when he's 52 years old. 2 same-day lays in 10 minutes. And the other one's a day 2. No flakes. No 10% stat bullshit. And here's other students that got laid in 1 to 6 approaches. And there's plenty of more I could have posted here. Take a look. This other student, who's Middle Eastern, had model. He has a model as a girlfriend, but he fucked 2 models before. So here's a London student that had the model as a girlfriend. He fucked another model too, actually, over here. So that's the sisters. Like, that is the model's sister because they look pretty similar because they're both blondes. So he fucked them both by mistake. He had 10 fuck buddies, 5 some, and all from Daygame in London. And they say, oh, London's hard. Well, I got plenty of students from London that fucked really attractive women, models, and even women way above the look scale. Here's a Mexican student that had 6 fuck buddies and also a 19-year-old, even when he's over 40 years old, using John Elite's game. Here's another guy from London, as I'm talking about. He had 3 fuck buddies, and 2 of them were models. They got married. And there's many of the students that got engaged too. There are many of them I did not post about because of privacy reasons, but tons. Here's another couple that got engaged. He was in my boot camp, and now he's engaged to a Latina. This guy has procreated, a Chinese guy. He also polled quite a few times, but he's a father now. I have many students that already procreated, many of them actually. Most people don't realize that. So I don't know why they brag about that. It's so stupid. I have a Vietnamese student who lost his virginity and he got a Latina girlfriend. A Filipino student had over 150 lays in Daygame under my coaching.